Welcome back. You're watching Startup Central with me, Nayantara Rai, working from home. This is the only show of its kind on Indian television dedicated to startups, technology, innovation, disruption. Ladies and gentlemen, we love constructive criticism, so keep writing into us. Tell us how we can improve the show, what you never want to see on the show, how we should be doing things differently, what we might have missed, what we should be paying attention to. Our email address, suc@etnow.tv. Well, with that, here's the next guest. It is Paytm Money. It has turned 2 years old. As far as its bucket list go, equities, check mark. Insurance, check mark. Wealth management services, check mark. What's next? Here's a conversation I had earlier in the day with the Paytm Money CEO.
No, so first of all, thank you. Thank you for the wishes, and happy birthday to all the customers out there and all our users and partners, because we did it together. We are super excited because our vision of aiming to become India's #1 digital wealth management firm is coming true. And in a couple of years, we've done in mutual funds what has not been seen before. So we've onboarded a lot of new users. We've onboarded a lot of first time to KYC, first time to mutual fund users. And that whole journey for us has been fantastic. I think we were able to disrupt the product innovation. We've been able to bring in direct mutual funds. And at the ease of doing it, at the cost at which it is coming, which is free, essentially, I think we've managed to, bring a whole set of new investors to the Indian capital markets. And we're quite proud of that. The mission's just started. We've just begun. We are 2 years old. And I think as we go along, year 3, year 4, year 5, you'll see a lot of diversification and a lot of action. But we're quite excited the way things are going.
And in fact, in these 2 years, you have also now, you're getting set to roll out the stockbroking platform. You've got, I think, early access requests for more than 2 lakhs is what, was put out in the press release. There's been inorganic growth as well with Paytm wanting to enter into insurance. So when you talk about well diversified, tell me, what all do you have plans for?
Yeah, so we've just taken, about 4 weeks and 3 days back, we've launched our equity broking platform. Where we allow cash and intraday trading. We've come out at a pricing which has not been seen in India before, which is 0 and absolutely free for delivery, and 10 rupees, no questions asked, very simple pricing. We've combined that with a fantastic product. Now, what that's meant for us is about 250,000 people have enrolled for the early access program. And step by step, we are opening accounts and getting them going. And that's the starting point. So now we have mutual funds, we have gold, we have NPS, which is retirement, and we have equity. On the equity side, over the next 1 year, you should see a bunch of products coming in, all the way from derivatives trading to margin to index investing and so on and so forth. So in a year's time, we aim to have maybe one of the best products that is available in India with a very, very simple UI, which allows maybe 10 million or new people who are currently not in the markets. So if you look at the markets in India, we have about 12 million active users. So we're planning to add our own 10 odd million customers to come in and to buy their first stock with Paytm Money. So that's on the equity side. And as we go along in future, we aim to be a full 360-degree wealth management platform for everyone having 1 rupee to all the way to an HNI client who has, a few thousand crores, or who has crores, or who has lakhs. But our goal is going to be to democratize wealth management using a mobile phone, using an app, and keeping it really, really simple. And I think that whole approach to saying all the way from an Uber driver to a Kirana store to a high-end trader to a student, everybody aspires to save, and our job should be it fixed income, be it deposits, be it bonds. We want to make sure that the customer has all of it within 2 or 3 clicks. So that's the vision, and we are on for some very challenging times in terms of product rollout, and we're going to go really all out with our business model.
Okay, so now you're telling me that from Paytm Money's checklist, and if I was to start checking insurance check, stockbroking check, gold check, mutual fund distribution check, but you're growing as well, right? That means Paytm Money very much still in the growth phase, the cash burn phase, as it's called. Are you all well capitalized? Because the earnings that were announced recently for Paytm did talk about narrowing losses by 40%.
Right. So we are, very well capitalized. Our business plan is built around the tenant. We just finished year 2, and I would very definitely and very confidently say that in 2 years, the business goals are achieved. Maybe we've even exceeded on the customer acquisition side. We would love now to continue that growth, continue providing the right product. And I think we are going to be patient for another 2 to 3 years to say the business on its own should be sustainable, should start making the right amount of revenues as Paytm Money. As a parent, we are 100% subsidiary of OCL, and we are very well capitalized. And capital for us is not the question. However, I think spending it wisely, spending it on the right things, like any other business, is necessary and is important.
So you will be growing the business, you're capitalized at the moment. Are you going to go in for more funding? So far, how much have you invested, let's say, in the stockbroking platform? Because you're also going to be competing with some big wigs out there who have the first mover advantage. You've recently seen a competitor like Zerodha become a unicorn, go in for a fundraise as well. You don't need to go in for any activity?
No, on our side, I think we are very well capitalized. Paytm is doing well. So on the capital side, I think we're fine. Our biggest strength, comes out of the Paytm distribution. So if you look at it, we have excess of 200 million customers, many of them. And I think our success lies from making our acquisition costs, making our service costs very, very thin, because the customer is already there. The customer is already deeply interacting with us. The same has happened because of our direct mutual fund platform. So we are today first in SIPs in India, on new SIPs. And the reason that is the interaction and the product is simple. So from our perspective, I think our real success, our growth, our investments are therefore going into product. And we are very happy for the next 3 odd years. We've not thought beyond 3 years, but I think 3 odd years, we are very, very happy. And I think we're on the right path.
So Varun, okay, so right now you don't see the need to go in for that kind of an activity. Now, stock market broking, that's been around now for 5 to 6 weeks. I know it's very early, but can you tell me what the response has been from the market? And especially given the fact that your ambition is to grow the market, to increase the number of Indians that are investing in the stock markets, what kind of a user base have you attracted? What are the learnings from it? Any advice that you have for all of those that might be thinking of logging on to Paytm Money for stockbroking?
So, we've had an excellent time in the last 5-6 days. We've had about 250,000 odd customers registering for early access. And step by step, they're opening accounts and starting to trade or invest. What we see is about 50 to 60% of them are first time to market investors. We see a lot of investors coming in from tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 cities. What we also start to see in terms of customer behavior is the kind of transactions they do. So we have about 70% transactions in delivery, which means the customer wants to buy and hold for a long period of time. And we have about 30% on intraday, which is an attractive trading segment. We think we've attracted those customers because of the simple UI of the product. And I think their expectation was we would replicate what we did on mutual funds, which they see, and also the attractive pricing that we bought in, which is on delivery, it's free, and on intraday, it's 10 rupees a trade. And I think that's been the crux. In terms of people joining the markets, our mission is going to be to bring 10 odd million people and double the market size in India. And we're very happy the way things are going. But the main message I would like to give to people who are just entering is learn first, be careful, watch out for volatility in the markets these days. It's very volatile. There is an underlying negative socio-economic situation. Volatility, liquidity are topics that you should read, and define your risk appetite before you get in. Define how much you're going to put in, and track it actively. And just learn before you start to invest. And I think that's going to be the mantra for a long-term success.
No, but Varun, can you show me some can you give me insights that so far, what has been the average transaction size? Because you have said it's all the way from 1 rupee to the sky is the limit, right? And you're saying how 2.5 lakh people want early access, all of that. What has been the size of these transactions? What's the average transaction size?
So we are seeing today on the cash side about 20 to 40,000, and on the delivery side about 1 lakh, 1.5 lakh. So these are the two sizes we see. We see a lot of new investors coming in and trying 500 rupees. So that's the nice part. So they're trying 500, they're trying 2,000 rupees, they're trying 5,000 rupees, looking at a stock. So we have on one side, the very new investor who's dabbling. Then you have obviously the professional investors who know what they want. So the ticket sizes, sometimes you've seen transactions about a crore and a half as well, single transactions. So, but our average is 20 to 40 right now, and the intraday is about a lakh.
Okay. And for the mutual fund, direct mutual fund distribution business that you guys are doing, and saying you have 6.6 lakh users and all of that, what has been the average size there?
So there we have about 70% users who are first time. So their SIP amounts vary from 1,000 rupees to about 1,800 rupees. And then on the other side, we have very ultra HNI investors where the average size has been from a crore to crore and a half. So if you look at two ends of the spectrum, what we notice is the customers who came about 2 years back with a 1,000 rupee starting SIP now slowly have migrated to a 40 to 50,000 rupee average AUM per customer. At the bottom end, the HNI clients, because we are a direct mutual fund platform.
So you're...
Yes, please. Yes, please.
No, so basically, you're kind of preempting the question I wanted to ask you, that what would you say, I'm sure you've done the data analytics, right? So you got the 70% of them which are first-time investors. How many of them were you able to retain and get them to invest again?
So what we love is our what we call repeat ratio or SIP maintenance ratio. That's in upwards of 70%, which means that once an SIP is started, we like the fact that the customers are keeping their goals, because SIP is not a short-term product. So you don't get in and get out in 6 months' time. So what we love is in the 2 years, we've seen our customers consistently keeping the SIPs. What we've also liked is the SIP amounts are increasing with time. So the confidence is going up with time, saying, I've tried this, it works, let me go. And that increases about 20 to 30% year on year in their SIP average amounts.
Okay, so you're saying, so you've been able to have healthy repeat margins and repeat customers. Varun, now tell me that out of the first-time investors, further analytics I'm sure you've done, how many are women? How many of them are not from the large cities? What is their average age?
So the average not from large cities is about 68, 69% in that range. It fluctuates anywhere from 65 to 70 odd percent depending on time. But that's the first part. I think in women investors, we have about 20% odd women investors. Some cities show a higher, like the metro cities show a higher range of women investors. And in terms of age, our average median age, if you may, statistical median is about 29.
Okay, so median age is 29. Any interesting other data that you spotted, particularly when it comes to the geographies, like, that'll give an idea of the penetration and where you're going?
I think one of the most interesting things I found within geography is some of the tier 4, tier 5, tier 6 cities' ability to keep their goal and to keep invested and to increase is phenomenal. So we see some very small city investors who are very conscious, very disciplined. And that has been a big surprise, because normally you would expect that.
Like where? Like where?
So I've got a bunch of 10 odd cities.
Like where? Which cities?
So Warangal, I was looking last time. Visakhapatnam, I was looking last time. I was going through the database and I found these customers. I was quite impressed to see somebody in those cities, Warangal. And I think I saw somebody in Mehsana, if I'm not wrong. Very disciplined. Every end of the year, you can see a portfolio increase. You can see them managing it actively. And I think that's nice. So that behavior is unexpected from us. I wouldn't expect that. I would have expected they're first-time investors, so they're not necessarily disciplined.
I'm going to make this my final question for you, because we're running out of time as well. Some reports doing the rounds that, now you're the largest, you've overtaken those who've been around before, like Zerodha, etc. Is it true? Are you now number one, at least when it comes to the mutual fund distribution? And otherwise, you want to just tell me what kind of a market share Paytm Money is grabbing at the moment?
I would go about and say in direct mutual funds, we've made it to be the first. We are very happy to say that our equity platform is just launched. I would be very humble with the fact that we've just gone out 5 weeks. On digital gold, we've transacted about 5,000 kilos gold, and that makes us the number one digital gold player in India. So some of those numbers are great. On mutual fund SIPs, now we are first in new market acquisitions. And so some of those numbers are good, but we're just getting started. It's second year of operation. There are 100 million customers out there. And we think the real market in India should expand from 40, 60 million to about 100, 150 million. And that's going to be a larger mission.